Harvest sunset gilds the orchard, where drift hearts of burgeoning fruit ripe and sere, and sweetly charm the burring wasps with sugared lips melissonant. Chirruping darts choreographed to stumbling footfall, attended by a timid audience, skipping between brown thorny briar, swimming eyes whose rose salt-licking serenades the imminent moon, a bleated chorus coloring dusk. Coarse ribbons, barbed, twisted wire, lanolin bunting, the flock's scribed ancestry that you read with innocent eyes, painted sweet and cherished.
Beautiful.
We have a Keats, a John Keats here.
Yes, yes.
That's, thank you. That's why this is an enormous compliment. Keats, I adore. So thank you, Dennis. Okay. So, Rich, you said 3.
Yep.
So I have one last one then, which again has a summary theme. I wrote that last one and this one to one another again on my sister's farm. Okay. The summer field's golden stretch, endless orate armoires reflecting the August jewels of the sovereign sky, dazzling in their quiet brilliance, kissed by birdsong, outspread in reverie, fringed with hedgerows brimming, tumbling down the distant hillside to surge anew from out the vale, a rolling radiance to seek the horizon that silver frets the bleared horizon. Clouds that spill in quiet disorder emigrate across high spaces, trailing soporific charm. A moment hangs in grand tableau, the high feast of fine summer framed against the slow drift of the earth towards coming cooler days. Thank you.
Yeah, Con, warm applause, warm welcome, Kevin. Well done. Your first reading too. Obviously been writing a long time, I would say. But this is Kevin's first meeting. If before our reading, each of us say one thing about ourselves, and 3 poems. Right, so
I can go now. I've opened up my poems. Sorry, I hadn't opened them up before. Okay, so this is the first one. Each and every day. Each night, the gods fight for daylight. Every crack in a paving stone allows something green to grow. Every day brings mixed feelings, such as licorice allsorts or jelly beans. Did you like wine gums? Feelings aside, has the world changed? Every night, the gods fight for daylight. Every day, the sun shines so you can eat. Every day, the tides turn and the fish swim. And the humans catch much more than they need. Every day, every day. That's that one.
thank you.
Don't know if that goes with the theme, but hopefully it does. This is scales. COVID tum and COVID rum, COVID bun. I've got COVID tongue and I burnt my thumb. Who's got a COVID tum? Those extra pounds around your waist. Oh, what a bum. A little on your COVID bum. Did you eat those COVID buns and drink the COVID rum? Yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got rum in my tummy and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm adding the buns to the rum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got rum in my tummy. Adding to my COVID tum and my COVID bum. 'Cause I ate too many of those COVID buns. So that's a bit of fun.
Hey.
And I'm not sure if I've read this one here or not, but I wrote it last year. Is lockdown ended? We sit in a private garden, socially distancing, of course. This is the new norm. All 5 of us are survivors of all sorts, of course. There's a 73-year-old knocking back the gin who's been shielding for the past 6 months. They cured my cancer, he shouts, but I ain't a man no more. I said to the doctor, you cured my cancer, but stole my masculinity. They don't tell you, they didn't inform me that I would have uncontrollable peeing for a month. Sometimes I still just need to pee. It's awful. I can't get an erection anymore. I can't date. And worst of all, after all those years of practice, I can't even masturbate no more. Next time you see me, I'll be wearing a skirt. He laughs uncontrollably. So they castrated you, she asked. They stole my masculinity. How can I go on a date? I can't fuck no more. No woman will want me, he yelled. Then there's the young guy who lives next to me. He's 23 and making noise. And it sends me nuts. I wrote him a letter and then he chased me. The police came and I told them, I'm 73, he's driving me nuts. I took my jewellery to the surgery and I gave them 18 rings. What good are they in my bag when someone can wear them? I used to turn over good money in Camden with one of my designs. I had the workshop at the Warrior Studios. Good times they were. Ain't sell anything no more. And the market, it's been closed down. Nothing for local people. It's all just money. I have high cholesterol, said a small woman who couldn't get a word in edgeways, as the 73-year-old 6'5" who had lost his masculinity was so loud and dominated the space. They're giving me hormones, you know, and I'm growing tits. There was laughter as he gesticulated. I told the doctor I'm a Bermondsey boy. I don't want no tits. That's not all they say. It's my lymphatic system. I don't know how long I've got, and I'm going deaf, no hearing test, you know. No one else can speak, but they all know this is his first outing in 6 months. He's been inside the house or hanging out on the doorstep, talking to anyone who'll stop. He's had cancer and he's still got cancer, but has the treatment for COVID-19 that swept us all off our feet gone away yet? He, like all of us, has been shielding. All 5 of us are shocked to be out. Yeah, I don't know if I've read that before.
Yes, excellent, Michelle. I've heard it before. Last time it was a work in progress.
Ah.
But it sounds as if you've completed it now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to say something about myself, aren't I?
Yeah, go on then.
I'm the bus woman at the moment. I'm making some. Yeah, I'm making some work about buses. Yeah, I'm an artist, basically, visual artist as well as a poet and spoken word. So, yeah, there we go. That's a bit about me, and I'm quite hot and bothered because I've had to shut the patio door because my cat's out on the balcony eating, and I've got 2 and one eats the other one's food.
That's a whole list of things from Michelle.
Yeah.
Right, and as I'm conductor tonight, I'm handing over to Gwyneth.
Okay, I'm just checking my rice.
Right.
Michelle,
Don't think about yourself, Gwyneth.
Let it burn, babes.
You said you were handing over to me. Well, Gwyneth has taken the subjects solstice because that's what you said at the last meeting, and kind of reluctantly I've written my poems about the solstice. So I went back in time and decided that I couldn't believe what the scientists said, that the Earth circles the sun. Why can't I believe what the science... Ah, somebody was saying something. Is somebody else speaking?
I think we're getting an echo of you. I might mute myself just in case it's my computer feeding back. So when you read, I'll mute.
Okay, so I'll start. Why can't I believe what the scientists say? The Earth circles the sun. I know the sun circles my house each passing day, encompassing the compass from east to west. On good days, I see it all day long. On bad days, not so often, as it plays with the clouds. The scientists insist the Earth circles the sun. I know the sun circles my house and me. That's me backing. Anyway,
I
back
like that.
inside. And then you want 3 now, right? Well, here's the second one about the solstice. I find it. Right. So I've called it short or long. When winter settles down in dreary November, I long for December and our winter solstice to turn the corner of the shortest day, to start our journey back towards the light. I look towards spring, welcome the summer solstice, our longest day. It comes far too quickly for my peace of mind. Midsummer's Day, enjoy if you will, but it starts the journey of losing our light. High summer ahead, hot days and nights, but each day shortens. We're losing the light. So that's that one, right? And the third one, I take it you can hear and it's not echoing.
Just to explain, Gwyneth, I have
You can, because your voice I can't hear now.
but I had heard everybody's microphone.
Can't hear.
No.
Are you there, Richard? Sorry, I can't hear.
I think Richard is there, but we can't hear him.
And your
But I've
voice,
turned everybody's microphone off.
well, the point is, can you hear me? Is there any point in me reading another poem?
Yes, Gwyneth.
We can hear you, Gwyneth.
We can
You can hear.
we
All
can-
right. Okay. I call this one The Joy of Light. My London flat of north-facing windows at the end of May and the beginning of June is one of my favorite times of the year. As the earth tilts towards the Tropic of Cancer, the sun rises and sets closer to the north. I'm wakened in the morning by the rising sun, charmed in the evening by the setting sun. The Queen of Light dominates my landscape with radiant displays of light and shade, filling my room with patterns of light. I sit in silence and pay her homage. I don't know whether you got any of that.
Richard, I don't think we can't hear Richard, can we? So I think, oh, there he is. I can see him now.
Can you? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go because unfortunately I have to finish off the buses stuff. So lovely to see everyone. Sorry, I'm off early.
All right. Bye-bye.
And I can hear you.
We can hear each other. We can't hear Richard though.
No, it's weird.
Richard, can you hear us?
Oh, there he is.
Richard, we can't hear you.
I've just sent Richard a chat message to ask him to give us instructions via the chat.
Good idea.
So perhaps he'll give us some instructions via the chat when he sees it. Rich, if you can hear me, can you give us instructions via the chat?
That's a no, is it?
No, he can't.
Who do we think should go next?
I don't know. Andrew, do you want to sort of take over until Richard comes back on the blower?
Okay. Now we've had Gwyneth and we've had Keith. Christopher, have you been yet?
No.
Would you like to go next?
Yes. All right. Well, I've written two actually, but if I read the one about the solstice changes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll do that. You can all hear me, can you?
Yes,
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Jolly good. Jolly good.
There's also been a lot of interference before.
Yes, but it doesn't seem to be there now.
Reading, it was very, very sad that.
I'm hearing you perfectly, Christopher.
All right, well, I'll go ahead then. Okay, so I've called this solstice changings, and then in brackets, musings while on the London Tube. Okay, so solstice derived from Latin word for sol, for the sun, and sistere, to stand still, for as seen from earth, the sun's daily path reversal has now begun. Pagan, Lither, and Yule, two sides of the same coin, birth. Litha's the longest day, while Yule's the longest night. June or December, it depends on hemisphere. Litha makes gentle, calm breezes, full of delight, navigable sailing on smooth seas, crystal clear. The Norsemen of Europe saw the sun as a wheel that changed all the seasons, or as they named it, Hul, when stories were told while drinking sweet ale with zeal, gathered round bonfires, the season we now call Yule. Midsummer the Norse styled with the name Lithasblot. The Germanics, by contrast, called this time Althing. Contention abounds if this was in June or not, but no holes for Germanics, only hard working. Prosperity, extravagance, good spirits too, the bounty from working during spring on the land, beauty, abundance, restocking with food, and Midsummer's Day will soon be on hand. All change, shouts the god, we're reversing direction as the underground trains reach the top of the line. Let's go round again, the average white band's conception, rhyming poem stanza, recurring time after time.
Good view.
That's it. Yeah, so, I mean, I wrote something else as well, but perhaps you want to hear that later on.
Oh, we could hear it now.
Oh, you want to hear it now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is Rich inspired me to write this because if you recall, last time he said that his grandfather was a tic-tac man at the
Yes.
races.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so I thought, oh, I've always been fascinated by tic-tac men. And well, not by the men themselves, but the tic tac thing. So I thought, oh, I'll write a poem in Rich's grandfather's honour. So this is called The Tic Tac Man. You'll see him white gloved standing next to his. Oh, hold on, next to his bookie. Oh, anyway, you'll see him white glove standing next to his bookie, waving to another at the side of the track, signing the betting odds, no job for a rookie. These are the fellows with the sobriquet tic-tac, with fists together where the right hand thumb protrudes in an upward directions, a cockle you'll learn, or a net to which odds of 10 to 1 alludes. It's a code you can teach. I wonder how much they earn. Odds of 11, hands together as if in prayer, or they call out if in earshot, roofs of 4 to 1, respect for cockneys and backslang to which this compares. Like Mercury and Hermes, their message seen, heard and spun. The tic-tac man ensures all odds stay roughly in line amongst competing bookies who can adjust their boards when high-rolling punters bet a bag of sand in time to stop rogues and trickster punters from winning a hoard. Reflect on the importance of the humble tic-tacs. Honour these unsung heroes dressed in white gloves and mac.
Hey. Most informative.
Yeah.
Right. Dennis, would you like to contribute a poem or two or three?
Mine, just to be original, is called Solstice.
Right.
Right. Solstice. So begins the summertime, the long, long day, the blackbird rising earliest to sing its song as the earth pauses, pondering release from the timeless trajectory of spinning and leaning, ordained at the Big Bang moment, or by some deity juggling suns and planets, but yet to explain the purpose of its creation, which we will never know. So let us picnic then, plunge into the glowing life of things for the day's lesson now. And yet, how wondrous that this speck in the endless galaxy of space may know heat and cold, light and shade, wisdom and folly, and what comes between. They whisper it across the Milky Way. Must do better on planet Earth, for there's no turning back next time.
Right.
Okay, the next one I've got here is, it's a sort of a pondering. It doesn't rhyme and the rhythm hardly exists, but I'm going to give it to you whether you like it or not. It's called Lessons Learned. Our thoughts are with you. Lessons have been learned or not. Mr. Speaker, our sympathies go out to the 50, 60,000, choose a number, care home residents who have not turned up to hear me say how sad I am for causing them to die. But you must remember this. You must remember this. The 200, 205, 6, why not? 1,000 more enterprising ones who survived our blunderings. No praise forthcoming from across the Commons divide for that. And Miss Liz Truss, vendor of British objets to nations bad or worse, whose thoughts did not go out to the children of Yemen, dismembered, maimed, orphaned by brave British bombs, vouchsafed to Saudi princes for whom nul point for niceness and their good aim. A decent grade 1 to Mr. Williamson, headmaster of the algorithm that refused to rhyme, for saying he was incredibly sorry for the anguish caused by robbing young persons of their right to pass their exams honoris causa. Oh, the pitiless Priti Patel, bully for her, who never intentionally set out to upset anyone. She does it without thinking. And the Conservative MP, De Pfeffel Johnson, resisting pleas from his own colleagues to repent of describing burqa-clad ladies as letterboxers and bank robbers. He became Prime Minister instead. And his trusted mentor, Dom Cummings, who promised the health service £350 million every week if we Dunkirked from Europe, and was notably steadfast in his refusal to apologize to you, me, and Mrs. Carrie Johnson for driving to Durham to purchase wallpaper for the Downing Street lounge. So on and so forth, the lessons learned and unlearned, the dead waiting for their facial protection, the crocodile tears. Talking of which, little Matt Hancock, who handed a 15% stake in a shredding firm, who was handed a 15% stake in a shredding firm owned by his sister and brother-in-law, and didn't declare it. A minor breach, said the guardians of our parliamentary greed. Okay.
Hello, people. I'm back.
Oh, well done.
Well, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I just completely froze. But I'm back. I've missed you, Christopher. I missed Dennis as well. So I don't know if you've read all of those or ever, Dennis. Have you read? read 3?
Have I what?
Have you read 3?
No, I can read another one, but I haven't written anything other than that.
That was super.
Fantastic.
Yes, it was great. Well done. We'll send it to Parliament in an orange envelope or something.
And a £5 note.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what about the line tamer himself?
Oh, that me?
Oh, no, that's only, yes, you, of course.
Ah, right. Okay, I've
But,
got one or two. here.
Andrew, I must say, I think Christopher has stolen your style for the evening.
Yeah, it's very good. It was very good, Christopher.
Okay.
Right, the first one I'd like to read is set in Anglo-Saxon England, and it has the name Era Litha, which means the month. It means June, in effect, the month before Litha. 3 spirit nights leading to Midsummer's Eve, 9 rooms on a rope, crafting spells to weave. Litha, the mark of the longest daytime, Waldorfador wilt soon complete his climb. The summer solstice it be drawing near, a time to raise line horn of fine beer. Bonfires wilt be lit on high hills close by, nearby the smithy, the fire his ally. While the dung cart winds its way to young meads, mowing and harrowing, digging up weeds, smithy crafting within his thatched workshop, the shimmering billowing from the top. Formed inner pit hut by the central fire, under Wayland's guiding hand to inspire, dragon's final rune begins to take shape, with spell well cast, he wilt lend no escape. Smithy's hut is sunk into Mother Earth, his hammer and anvil have given birth. No spells wilt now take to blunt this bright blade, the power of dragon shall not ever fade. Thank you. And and now I'd like to come slightly closer in time and take you to the 15th century and look at Midsummer's Eve. And this is based again on the writings of Professor Ronald Hutton. The eve of the merry feast of St. John, a short night for 2 gather herbs upon. The wise are picking medicinal flowers, 2 days after shortest night's last hours. The bones and wood of St. John's fire close by, protecting the harvest with bonfire high. Drive away evil by burning some bone, hang lanterns outside, cast out the unknown. Wake fire of wood for making merry, jolly wassail bowl, ward off the fairy, merry making into the hours small, into lechery, men and women fall. Carry fire round the field, fun in the revel, the naked boys and the feathered devil, dragons and giants march in procession, midsummer feasting, night indiscretion. The field marigold, the best night to pick, these precious hours vanishing so quick. Other miraculous midsummer plants, wise folk gather with medicinal chants, a witch is about with healing powers. Gathering herbs in balmy small hours, drunken gluttony, drive away sadness, rolling sun fire wheel, midsummer madness. Thank you. And if I may, I've got one which is not connected with midsummer at all, and this is a bit of fun, and it's a kind of
just before you read it, Andrew, can everybody else go on mute because you're
okay. This is called the Elf Service, and it's an intended spoof, the name. I was looking at the different kinds of elves which we have in our tradition, and we don't really know much about the functions of these elves. So I was looking at Norse tradition and Icelandic tradition, and just jumping to a few conclusions. So this is the function of elves. The elf service. On Midsummer's Eve, like elves doth abound, rare radiant ones perhaps to be found, tending fields and meads and on flowery mound, weaving their magic, not making a sound. Greybeard went to fetch water from small stream, placing fresh baked bread beneath the low beam, for those hidden folk that keep water clean, wise water Alfang, seen in a daydream. In full flower spring, the meadow mumbling, colourful carpet, wasps and bees bumbling, poppies, corn cockles, red and blue tumbling, in corner of eye, failed Alfang gambling. Heave up healing herbs, the Galdor to read, kneeling in meadow, libation of mead, for field fertility, performing the deed, the hidden people give life to corn seed. Land Alfen live in rock at centre of field, the bright elves therein increase the corn yield. If thee move this stone, then thine fate is sealed. Gather lichen here, and thee wilt beest healed. In small silent wood, dusting distant leaves, would Alfen out on Midsummer's Eve, tending their elfthorn as diligent reeves, gathering mushrooms like dark forest thieves. Those beautiful elves form a link between mankind and landscape while staying unseen. White shining spirits working our land green, bringing abundance where light elves have been. Thank you. I've definitely finished with that one.
Andrew,
Yes.
you've got something on below, have you?
Have I?
There's a question.
I nearly forgot about the poetry tonight, and I logged in very quickly after I sort of relaxed, so to speak, so as not to miss any more.
But just get a screen high. Okay, if I could have a go. But one thing I can say about myself is I have been an active participant in solstice rituals, and so my reply to our challenge is kind of based on, it's based on attending solstices, and it's based on what other people have told me about attending solstices. So here we go, solstice changes. Can of beans exploding in angel fires, pre-festival health and safety standard. Coppers in pin hats, parking restrictions keep the samba drum band chanting hedgehog. Up lanes for an avenue procession, swirling torchbearers, swirling hot torches, rotating patterns of flame close to stones, where princesses sit receiving gifts, praise from loyal hippies thronging Arthur's Seat. Tomorrow comes Sunup's wedding event, drunken groom carried across a broomstick by trouser-wearing wife. Hold fast, hand fast, your pretty ribbons glow like midsummer. Corn holding complex crop circles in fields left by the eaves. Alien visitors, circumspectively they circle Golden Balls Hill, with great golden energy orbs bright yellow, reflected in the moonlight hovering like black-clad clouds of old ways followers with their great untamed wild familiars meowing joyous sounds to no one. You, untouched by occultist ritual, shimmering for days ahead of maypoles, traditionalist Morris men drink ale belly laughing at the false jingle bells, a foreshadowing next winter solstice, all fun, all this colour of England's June. There's, I don't understand people heard that. There's something else I can say about myself is right, I'm a special school survivor, and right, I had experiences at special school that no young children should have. This one's called Blue Thing. He pulls the blue thing from behind the black cistern, sits upon a black ring, seeking the older boy's mystery. Too hard he fails. Later, the blue light beyond an imagined system finds him sitting again on that black ring, itching furiously for his lost fame he cannot find, must try harder. Practice blue moves, pull blue things, imagine magazine dreams, flick thoroughly through memories researched, lost in time again. This blue thing goes every seconds in statistician science. No black rings sequestered now, as moved older blankets finds perfect resolution. And another thing I like to do, talking about blue, is listen to music. It's called On Missing You, and it's kind of based on listening to a blues album, which I'll mention eventually. On Missing You. The tragedy of an empty bed brought into sharp relief by hair, cold, despair at loving absence. This items unwanted gifts of wakefulness, poetry, form and shape that look like curves reminiscent of you. The fever in her abandon, careless words in anger spoken, leave him lost in silence, in remorse for better days of forgotten. Forsaken by loving absence to wait for January cold relief, too sharp to be a poet's word, found only in singer's blues. This night continues to sling the shadows across this gloom, passing car lamps distort the wall where he looks for her lusty vision. Has used up words like go, leave home, resurface in unremitting darkness. These decisions we took way back then return with tragic vacancy, available to warming bodies used only to deter loneliness, rendered by acidic lashings of tongues filled with words unwanted, and night fades as daylight breaks, only to find brightness fails to warm this calmness in messages empty blues. Thank you. So if we sort of circle again with Kevin, but who might want to tell us something about himself.
I think I just got a couple of words there, Rich, but were you asking me to tell you guys something about myself?
But could you please, and after that, perhaps you'd like to read another 2 poems? Oh, 3. You're both fine. I'd like to begin again.
No, I'm only getting a few words, Richard. Sorry.
Okay.
We can't really hear, Richard.
Shall I look in chat?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Something about myself. Oh gosh. I'm a lecturer and a musician. I currently teach at the Royal Academy of Dance. So, yeah. So I teach at the Royal Academy of Dance, and I play as a musician. So I play music, but mostly actually in I have a band I work with bands in Italy and Swedish musicians as well. So sort of all around Europe, I suppose. And that's kind of my life at the moment, between dance and the Royal Academy of Dance and music. So yes. So
Which instrument do you play?
well, I used to play saxophone and clarinet, but now in these groups I sing. Yes.
Yeah, there's an awful amount of echo coming through.
Is it coming from me?
No, I think it's just the reception is awful this evening, is I think what we're really saying, Richard. The sound comes and goes with echoes and interference.
Yes, I think the echoes are caused by when one person is speaking and the other people are not on mute.
Ah, right.
That's it.
Oh.
I think is it better when everybody's not on mute?
No, I also turn.
Oh God, yes, okay.
Richard seems to have exited again momentarily. I don't know. Andrew, do you want to be the master of ceremonies again until he comes back? Oh, he's come back. No, he's all right. He's back. He's back.
I'm muting again. think we've sort of lost Richard again. Keith, would you like to do a poem or two?
Yeah, I'll just quickly find I'll quickly find something. Okay, so we've lost a little time and stuff, so I've got a nice, I guess, a short one here. It's called I drink from the stars. I drink from the stars with which you watch me. I drink nebulas that splash bright and deep, swimming in the infinite of love and sadness. I draw you down into my arms, and you roll as silk through my fingers, a pretty ribbon in the wind, race as mercury across my palms, rushing out of illusion, growing from a bed of impossible hope, and tears of truth-filled disbelief, tears that wash away old grief.
I still think the reception is very poor.
Yeah, I think so also.
The poem was lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, I will be willing to read a poem.
Okay, Dennis, go for it.
It's from my famous book, the non-bestseller. I might have read it before.
It's repeating.
And it's called, is it repeated?
Yeah.
Maybe we should all.
It's worth very Bloody hell. Is it repeating now? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Why is it repeating?
If everybody else goes on mute other than the person that's reading,
Yeah. Has everybody else muted? I can't hear you, thank God. Okay. The enduring pleasure of it. Moisten the cheeks with water, pure from a virgin spring. If the lines on the palm of your hand are a map of unwavering destiny, the face you see in the mirror reveals this day's story. Allow the stubble to soften. Soak the bristling brush. Lather sandalwood soap, thick like snow, on the dark acres of the neck. Who hoots impatient in the street below? The razor, clean and sharp, awaits the challenge of the jugular, glides carefully now across the skin. Pause a moment here. This is not child's play. The light beams straight, pajama sleeves tucked in, the blade moves up the Adam's apple, biblical cheeks beckon. No, I burnt the toast. Slow, slow as you go, the better to reap the harvest. Recall the barber of Mysore. The Sahib sat upon a rusted throne, the cutlass nicks into the neck, draws a rill of blood of red, and from a bottle with no label, he drops a grey-green lotion on the cotton swab, dabs it on the wound. No disease, sub, no problem. Expect a tourist rate of 10 rupees, throws in an eyebrow trim for good measure. But wait, it's not over yet. Above the upper lip, the tenderest spot remains. Left hand lifts the nose at tip, razor hovers and it's done. No need for styptic stick, no scratch, no pimple cut to the quick. Bury your face in the cupboard's roughest towel. Expose a baby's bottomed, ripe apricot of a visage. Yet know that here's a Sisyphean chore. For even as I speak, busy hands labor at the loom to feed fresh stubble through the pores. There are no half-measured measures in this play. Each shave is a first time or a last, but the last will not be done by me. Okay, wow.
Good. Gwyneth, do you have another one you'd like to read? Gwyneth, you're muted at the moment. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. It's called One Day at a Time. Sitting in the garden on a late April day, one day at a time sounds good advice to a corvid hermit spellbound by nature, sharing her space with a warm spring sun, a bright blue sky, but a wind from the east, a persistent reminder of winter's strength. The bright, clear light strengthens the growth. Breeze blown blooms, fresh green leaves. The resilient strength of exuberant growth. Bluebells and dandelions, violets and anemones. This garden has helped me to find a space for me in my place in this world. One day at a time is good sound advice for a corvid hermit spellbound by nature. But what about the many in the grip of misfortune? Can we find them answers? Will we remember them? Those who are suffering from nature's destruction. Right, that's it.
Gwyneth, oh.
Dennis?
Yes. Can't hear.
Dennis, you've muted yourself.
Gwyneth, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Tell us why you write so many poems, how it's really very impressive. Do you do one a night or one before breakfast?
No, I write poems to keep my sanity, I've come to the conclusion. If people would leave me in peace, I would sit here and write all day. But I'm never left in peace, as it were, or rarely. But I just enjoy writing, so I write.
Who is not leaving you in peace?
The needs of my stomach, looking after myself, doing unnecessary cooking or cleaning or housework, other commitments.
Can I ask you, do you live alone?
Yes, I live alone, yes.
Right.
Yes.
You talk to your poems.
I have a family around the corner,
Right.
and my daughter is my great critic, and when she's working still, she's a lecturer, and she's working from home. But when she finds time to get from her family and come up here, she'll listen to my poems and tell me what she thinks. So she's a good critic. So that's a great help.
Right.
So, but I used to spend most of my time painting in my leisure. But I've switched now to writing. It's more sedentary. Painting is hard work physically, whereas I can sit and write quite happily.
And all you need is a pencil and paper.
I have eyesight problems, as you probably know by now. So what I do is use white paper and a very thick 8 pen, and I print.
Right.
And I can see that. And then if I bring it to my computer, I can print on the computer in a big print, and emphasize the darkness, you know, with the B, is it, whatever it is. So
Right.
but writing is a pleasure, and I enjoy doing it, and it keeps me sane in this peculiar situation we all find ourselves in, because my hobby would be traveling. And I used to live always by the sea, so I always want to go to the sea. So there we are.
Where was that? Which sea?
Well, before coming to London 20 years ago, it was the Irish Sea. I lived in the Isle of Man.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that was lovely. That's where I painted, because it's a great place for watercolor. The light's good. Lovely. But prior to that, I was in the west coast of Scotland. My husband was a Scot, and I was in Ayrshire.
All right.
And so we were almost on the Clyde estuary. So we looked across to the islands, to Arran.
Across to the Isle of Arran.
To the Isle of Arran, yes, it dominated our landscape. But beyond, on a clear day, you could see the Paps of Jura. But the Firth of Clyde is a very beautiful river estuary. So there you are. That's a brief history of Wilson Gwyneth.
All your secrets.
Right, Dennis, have you got any poems you'd like to share?
Not really, no. Richard, I'm going to have to go in 10 minutes because my sister-in-law is here and she's taking us up to dinner, and they've gone already. So I'm going to have to leave at 8 o'clock. I make my apologies now.
Okay. In that case, I'll get a quick poem in. So the other poems were set in summer. This one is set just after midwinter, and it's playing on the idea that we used to have 2 sleeps. The first sleep, a period of wakefulness called the watch, and then a second sleep. And this was the normal way to sleep until modern times. So,
could you repeat that, please?
Yes, we used to sleep in 2 tranches, a first sleep and a second sleep, and in between was a period of wakefulness, 1 or 2 hours long, called the watch. So this poem set in Anglo-Saxon times, in January. Short days of dark midwinter gone, light waxes just, crisp cold wanes strong, lighting long rushes dipped in lard, Yule behind us, soil still hard, bed of dry straw on rush muck floor, no windows, just a wooden door. Storytelling centered on fire, ladies' bed straw, snug in the shire. After first sleep, What was that dream? Lying awake, things aren't what they seem. With Valkyrie soaring in sky, flying above frozen fields high. Shape of darkness, shine spirit fire, fading fairies begin to tire, defying cold, climb out of bed, drawn to warm hearth, breaking some bread. In flint stone hearth, ashes still glow, smoking long hair, embers to blow, rakes bent ash through, smoke sleepy eyes, logs go on fire, flames to arise, kindling embers to bring forth flame, dancing shadows to life they came. Crisp, crunching chill, cold clear, moon bright, brave it outside in dead of night. End of first watch, twixt sleep and wake, flickering light, bones no longer ache. Lay low in bed, fire burning bright, raunchy bed straw in quiet of night, four-legged beast, farmer's delight, dark riding right in quiet of night, say special prayer, save souls to keep, silently, slowly, come second sleep. Star of first light, cold as Helheim, morning mead mist, raw winter time, Hreta still sleeps, Hela's hand holds fast, winter's weary wind, spell not yet cast.
Right.
Very good.
And what the reason why they had two lots of sleep was that so that one person could be on watch against animals or something?
No, it's just the way we're made. Yeah, I mean, we all have the experience of waking up halfway through the night and maybe having a little bit of difficulty going back to sleep. This is normal. We're not, as a species, designed to sleep the whole night through. The nights, particularly in the winter, are too long. So we wake up, and then it used to be a good time for visiting neighbours. If you went to your priest and said you were having difficulty conceiving, then the priest would give you the advice, have you tried doing it during the watch? Because when you, after a hard day's ploughing the field and all of the other agricultural activities, everything aches. But then after you've had a few hours sleep, your body's more relaxed and everything's loosened up a bit. So the best time for sex is during the watch. Or so the priest said. It's only really since the invention of gaslight that we've lost the watch. It used to be a very common to go and visit your neighbours during the watch. Right, Richard, would you like to do a poem?
It's called Remembrance.
Your sound's bad, Richard.
Bedroom slash misery, miserably. He was what it was bettered. We review 12 people listening in through straight for extra meaning and forever slowly dying. I lay prostrate for the cross. I think the time the word change literally to rhyme forever, larking to my moment, my life, my style, morbid monotony.
We missed a lot of it, Richard, because the sound is very poor.
We missed a lot of it, Richard, because
And
the
that's
sound is very poor.
Do you think we should call it a day because of the bad reception?
Yeah.
Call it a day because of the bad.
Yeah, Gwyn, maybe we should be. Next month, is there any chance that we might actually meet at the Highgate Society? Richard, do we think it might be possible to meet at Highgate next month? You're on mute.
Yeah.
You're not
Maybe-
hearing Richard.
Yeah, maybe we could meet at the Highgate Society and sit in the front.
Maybe meet at the Highgate Society and sit in the front.
In the garden, you mean? The front?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean the Highgate. Oh no. Oh. Is the Highgate Society actually open at the moment? I know the Highgate Society actually open at the moment. I know that the Highgate Literary and Scientific Institute. I know that the Highgate Literary Yeah. Okay. Rich, maybe you could ask them.
Yeah, if we could ask the Highgate Poetry Society sometime over the next week or two, not Poetry Society, societies, whether it's possible to get their terms and make a huge difference. And at the moment, things are as safe as they're going to be, I think.
Yeah. As far as a challenge for next time is concerned, do you want do you want to choose something seasonal?
Holidays.
Holidays. good one. Holidays.
Holidays is perhaps one. Yeah, or perhaps perhaps something to do with the sun.
Sun, yeah, that's a good one.
What could we call it? High noon or something like that.
Where we want to be, or where we would like to be on holiday. Where we would go, where we could go, or where we would go if we could.
Yes, places to go. Places to go.
Places to go, yes. Places to go.
Okay. Places to go. Okay. Places to go. So, Kevin, just saying hello again, because I know you're muted over there and it's your first time. Sorry we haven't been technically tonight, I think, with the echoes and bad sound. I'm fascinated that you teach dance. I think that's fantastic. I'd like to hear a lot more of it sometime.
Yeah, it has been wonderful, and listening to everyone's poetry. It's the diversity in tone and focus is wonderful. So being able to share in such a way, it's fantastic. I look forward to being able to share it again, to more meetings like this. I think it's beautiful. So it's wonderful.
Thank you for joining us, and
Thank you for
definitely
having
hope
me.
you come back again.
Maybe
without our echo, maybe even in a comfortable realm at Highgate.
I look forward to it.
Right, I think I'm going to throw the towel in now, because I think we've come to a kind of natural end. Bad. Oh.